Okay, so we have this odd-shaped shower. It's an L, and we need to install this guy, right? So the first thing we need to find out is how low do I need to cut this 2-inch pipe to set this at the right height, correct? So this shower is gonna have no door. I'm gonna treat it as 2 separate areas. I'm gonna have this area sloping down straight, and then I'm gonna have this perimeter level going down with a pitch of 1/4 inch per foot. So I'm gonna figure that out, and then we'll install the Schluter drain. So our flange has an overall height of 3/7/8. But then the pipe needs to stick up this piece coupler 7/8. So we need to cut down the pipe from the right height 4 inches down. 3 inches. 3 inches down. And what's the right height? We're gonna determine that right now. Okay, so we have our laser set up here. We have 3 7/8 to the surface of the slab, right? So that would be level. If we go 3 7/8 here, that would put this pipe level with the slab. So we're gonna take off another 3 for the height of the drain, which would be 6 7/8, right? But that would put the top of the Schluter flange level with the slab. So now we need to deduct the pitch, the slope, for the water to actually run into the drain. Since we have, here's 3 feet, so 1/4 inch per foot, that's 3/4. And then in here, our longest distance is from here to this corner, that's also 3 feet, so that's another 3/4. 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1.5. And we already had 6 7/8 plus 1.5. This is 7. It's gonna be 8 3/8 from our beam, laser beam, down. So let's mark that on this pipe. So 8 3/8. We're going to need to cut our pipe right there. And I'm gonna do that with both hands because it's hard to do it with one hand. Okay, so we've cut our pipe, and we needed 8 3/8 from the pipe to the beam. So for the actual installation of the flange, you need, of course, the flange, some PVC glue, primer and glue, and a level just to ensure this thing stays level when you're installing it. And the process is pretty simple. We're gonna put glue on both ends and then put it on there. So it looks like the pipe coming up from the ground up is not plumb. So when we go put concrete underneath the drain to make it secure, I'm going to slightly push it that way to make it level in it so it dries level. And then So remember we had 3 7/8. So now that our flange is level, we're gonna do some concrete underneath it to secure it in place. And then we're actually gonna do the mud set to come out flush to here. To simplify the math is pretty much, for a walk-in shower, this is your subfloor, so you need to be level with that on the mud set. The slope is going to be determined by the longest distance from your drain to any of the corners. That's a 1/4 inch per foot, and you always round up. So let's say this is 1.5 in my case. You add 3, so that would be 4.5. That means you got to cut down the pipe from this line 4.5 down. So there it is. Mud set's already done, ready for the membrane. Let me remind you that this method will only work with this type of drain flange. It will not work for other methods unless you modify the method, but that's a different thing. So if you're starting out, I would recommend you just get a Schluter drain and do it this way. Now on top of this, it's gonna be the membrane that will go on top with thin set. So basically this rectangle right here is going down 5/8 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. And then when you get here, this level is going all the way around. And then from there, it's pitching 3/4 of an inch to the drain. So that's gonna give water a way to go every time there's water, which shouldn't see a lot of water here, but if any water manages to get here, it's gonna go back down and down to the drain. And this is basically how shower pans work.